You're on. Ready? 6 o'clock.
I'd like to call the Lamar County School District regular scheduled board meeting for Monday, October 10th. And as always, open our meeting with prayer. I don't think I asked anybody to pray tonight, so I'm gonna pray tonight. If I can situate a little bit, stuff like that. You can have snacks, drinks out there. How are you? Good. All right. Sorry, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all here tonight, Lord. And thank you for the many blessings that you've given this district, Lord. Be with our teachers and our students and our administration as we finish out this school year, Lord. Please be with everyone here tonight. And if they don't know you, let them know these things I ask in your name. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So if you had a chance to pick up a copy of the agenda, you notice the second part of that is the meeting of teachers. I'm not going to read over all that. Basically, it just says that if you wanted to speak tonight, you had to have requested to speak beforehand. Next, we'll move on to approval of the general agenda.
So moved.
Have a motion. Second. And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have recognitions. Best part.
Yes.
A lot of people here.
Mr. Tracy, you'll come up first. And
Okay.
we're working out our elementary schools.
Okay.
We have one key recognition. I'll turn it over.
Okay.
You announce it and I'll show the video.
Okay, that sounds great. On behalf of the Lamar County School District, I'm proud to recognize Oak Grove Lower Elementary tonight. The United States Department of Education has awarded Oak Grove Lower Elementary the distinction of being a 2022 National Blue Ribbon School. National Blue Ribbon schools serve as models of effective school practices for not only state and the district educators, but other schools across the entire nation. Oak Grove Lower Elementary received this honor based on the performance category of being an exemplary achievement gap closing school. They are among the nation's highest performing schools in closing the achievement gap between subgroups. Oak Grove Lower Elementary is only one of 4 schools in the entire state of Mississippi to earn the Blue Ribbon distinction this year. I want to congratulate Dr. Vicki Brumfield, the teachers, support staff, students, parents, and the community on this exemplary achievement of teaching and learning. I do also want to recognize that we have 2 other schools in the district that have the Blue Ribbon distinction, and that is Oak Grove High School and Oak Grove Middle School, and now we get to add Oak Grove Lower Elementary. The 5th time that the Lamar County School District has been able to celebrate having a Blue Ribbon school, as Oak Grove High School has earned this distinction 3 times. So kudos to Ms. Price and Oak Grove High School on that. So congratulations, Oak Grove Lower Elementary. I'm proud of you guys. You guys are great.
I will add that on October the 27th, the state board, so you can tune in to the state school board meeting. The overall will be recognized with some representatives, Dr. Brumfield and myself, and teachers are going. And then also on November the 4th and 5th in Washington, D.C., will be recognized at the National Blue Ribbon ceremony there. So I'm gonna go ahead and we have a video that one of the teachers put together for us, and I want to show that in the purpose. Hopefully this.
We're a small school in Mississippi, but our students love coming there because we have
Our teachers at Edward Lower Elementary do a great job at data, determine our students' weaknesses and strengths.
those stations, certified, non-certified, sub, we all pitch in.
We have a love for this and school.
We feel very passionate. Also, feel
And while they're there, not only are they having fun, they're learning something in a safe and loving environment.
we're truly a family. And we are still up there, no matter where we are.
I'm so proud of the staff, I'm proud of the kids, I'm so thankful for the families that we work with.
Thank you, Dr. Brumfield.
Yes, let's get a picture up here of everybody that's from Oak Grove Lower Elementary.
Social media, so if any staff member or teacher, administrator, staff, anybody, so Oak Grove Lower, come on up and let's get a picture.
She's wrong. You're how many doctors? All right, so we're now. All right, ready? I'll take it up. My wife always says, take it up. All right, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. All right, awesome.
Hurry, come on, Bart, get in. Hey, Lamar County got me running, bang,
That's awesome. Make sure I delete the other ones. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. All right, awesome.
Y'all, just a second. Okay, with this blue ribbon, I mean, Ellen and Patrick, y'all probably know this. When you get an award this big, the principal gets all the attention. My name has been called out so many times, and I'm so proud. But guys, it's the Oak Grove family, Oak Grove Lower family. It's every single person that stepped foot on that campus is what made that happen. I mean, we do call ourselves family. And it's because we respect each other, we trusted each other, we fussed with each other, but we had fun. And we love the kids and we love what we do. And so this is such a great group of people. And now they're sharing their love and their knowledge in other campuses. And I just wish them the best. And I'm so proud. Thank y'all so much.
Great.
All right, good evening. Congratulations once again to Dr. Brumfield and our teachers, faculty, and staff from Oak Grove Lower. We're so excited and proud of you guys. I am going to ask Ms. Price, principal of Oak Grove High School, to come up here with us. I have several recognitions from Oak Grove High tonight, and we're going to start. And we're going to start with recognizing Mr. Felix Williams, who was recognized as a 2021-2022 Oak Grove High School Teacher of the Year.
Appreciate it.
And let me say one thing. Felix was just awarded the Golden Apple from WDAM, and that is the first one our school has ever received. So we're so proud.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, now I'd like to recognize our National Merit semifinalists. The National Merit Scholarship Program is an academic competition for recognition and scholarships that began in 1955. Approximately 1.5 million high school students enter the program each year. Of these entrants, only 3% of students qualify for recognition. So we'd like to recognize the following students as National Merit semifinalists, starting with Lee Dempsey from Oak Grove High School.
Here, and if you would stay here, we'll get a group picture as well. Come on up, Dad. Come on up. Don't have to bend over. There you go. I'll get around like I used to. That's all right. Step right over there. We'll get a group picture.
Next, National Merit semifinalist, Haley Little. National Merit semifinalist, Yolanda Nee. National Merit semifinalist, Sophie Pitts. National Merit semifinalist, Jeremy Posey.
Yes.
Yeah, smiling.
Jeremy hurt himself studying so hard.
Starting to contend over Warriors.
Right, so the other, the
Yes,
semifinals.
semifinals.
So y'all come around.
Yes.
We won't make, Jeremy move. Here's a picture of this, y'all don't be shy. There you go. Hold your certificate up. All right.
This must have been a news meeting.
Qualify for this honor. Each one of these students had to take the PSAT last year, right? Last fall. So to become a National Merit finalist, you had to take the SAT, and I'm sure you all been preparing for that. But this is a huge honor. I want to recognize these, and just the academic excellence that they have shown is amazing. I will recognize that, I will say that we had 3 others in our district. We had 2 from Summerall and 1 from Purvis as well. So the district, in our district, in total, we had 8 National Merit semifinalists. I'm very proud of that. So thank you, guys.
I'd also like to recognize the students who are 2023 National Merit Commended. Although commended students do not continue in the competition for National Merit scholarships, some of these students do become candidates for special scholarships sponsored by corporations and businesses. The following students are being recognized as 2023 National Merit Commended. And first we have Russell Ham. Jacob Palmer. And Tucker Reeves.
Very proud. Thank you. Good work.
Let's give a round of applause.
So we have a really exciting meeting tonight, with a lot going on, so if y'all want to stay, this would be a great time for you to stay. If you don't want to stay, now is the time. Okay, all right. Next, we have, moving on, number 5, section 12, 2021. A motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. That's unanimous. Next, we have approval of the monthly financial report for July 2022. We got Chase.
Yeah, Chase,
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Chase? If not, motion. So moved. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. That's unanimous. Have approval of the monthly financial report for August of 2022.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Now we have the approval to accept a bid of $93,000 from Pelican Playgrounds for playground mulch. Second. Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that carries. Next, we have the option to charge fixed asset custodian for a lost or stolen iPhone 12.
Someone,
Questions?
Second.
Okay, so we have a second for discussion. Anybody have any questions on this one? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's just a charge.
Yes.
Yep. And that's unanimous. Next is to charge fixed asset custodian for lost or stolen Mac minis.
yes, three.
We have a motion first.
So move for discussion.
Motion, second for discussion. Second for discussion, we got
And these computers were in the schoolroom
Correct.
during the summer, they weren't taken home, right?
Right. They are actually boxes that you hook a monitor up, and so they're not meant to be taken home. So they were in the classroom. We actually had pictures to show that they ended the school year in the classroom. And so, during the summer times, our teachers do lock their doors when they leave, but floor waxing and things like that, it invariably you have, when you take everything out of the classroom to wax the floor and you put it back in, sometimes things don't find it back to the right classroom. Typically, and this is why we're coming to you in October with this, typically those things show up. But when they realized it was missing, we went back, our SROs searched videos, all the back, and could not find anything, with the cameras where they were taken out of the classroom. So we don't have any video proof that who took them, that sort of thing, but, and we just finally wanted it because they're fixed assets. If we get audited, we don't have any type of board action.
Yes.
We needed to have the board action to be able to say if we got audited.
To me, it doesn't seem like anybody's, the teacher's fault, she lied.
I would
That's
agree.
considered a secure area.
Correct. I would agree that the teacher wasn't negligent in my opinion on this.
Any other questions? We already have a motion. So we already have a motion and a second, and the motion is to charge them.
Yeah, that's what the motion is here.
So that's, I want to clarify that before we vote. So all in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
Aye. So it's unanimous opposed. Yeah. All right, so now we, approval of change to policies, IHA, IHAB, IHE, IHEA, FGDB, JC, DAC, GBRA. Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Approval of policies for review with no change recommended. IHADE, IHADER, IHB, IHB, IHF, IHF2, IHFD.
Very good.
Motion,
Second.
second, all in favor? All right,
Aye.
and that's unanimous. Let's approve, approval of the new policy GB. Second. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Next, we have, board attorney matters, Mr. Morton.
One item, I hope that you look at a little bit, is a small cell installation agreement for Sunrise High School. Helen and I spoke earlier this evening, we have this already over at high school. And ceasefire installed last year. Helen thinks that they took two of them in there to enhance the cell service on campus. Ceasefire. They pay us $1,200 a year. On this agreement is a little bit different, only that, mainly that it's for 4 years, and to give them a license to put their equipment in Summerall and over at Middle School. They gave us a plan, saying where they wanted to put it. Dr. Hampton and I looked at it, we talked to Ross. They're placed now, in the green spaces, not the middle of campus, but partially into the campus. Dr. Hampton has recommended that we move them to the corner of campus next to Groves. On Middle School, out by Old 24, and on Summerall High School, the property that we just purchased recently. So that it would not involve them coming on campus to service it. That was one of their concerns. They wanted the easement to come on campus to service it. So I think, I understand it, Dr. Hampton, your recommendation would be to approve the contract, but subject to the location change that you have identified on the plans.
But on the terms, it will also free us up for any, future building movements and things like that. Going to be that possibly. If we need.
And since students don't have cell phones on campus.
Correct.
It's not needed like it was at one.
That's right.
Correct.
How large is it?
The pole that they put it on,
It's like a basketball pole. I mean, it's not, they're not big at all.
15 foot, 20 foot.
Yeah. The one at Oak Grove High School, they actually mounted it on on one of the light pole structures. So it's very minimal.
Small.
I make a motion that we approve small cell installation agreement subject to the location changes.
I'll second that.
So, second for discussion, is this something, it's 4-year contract, we're going to be in 4 years? I know that some contracts are going to go that long. This is not something that we want to have to pull up, obviously.
Their concern is that they've got to run fiber optic cable to it, service line to it. So then to go to that extent, 1 year time would be short. The agreement, in fact, they went longer, they went 5 years and then automatic renewals. Went back and forth, said no automatic renewals. And 4 years is the maximum that this board can go. So we do have audit contracts that we for 4 years on.
And it doesn't boost any other signal other than a ceasefire?
No, it'll use, anybody that's got agreements with ceasefire, which is just about all the carriers have inter agreements with each
So it
other.
should really
It'll
boost almost
help a
all the
lot.
cells.
Mhm. Yeah.
And we get, income.
Yeah.
Okay.
1,200 a year for each school.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other questions? All in favor? Aye. And that's unanimous. I guess that you're handling our city section
Mr. Harvey's not the president, on that.
today or this week?
So I do have his items to go. The first one that we had was the site testing. This was something Kevin and I worked on for a couple of months. A company wants to come in and do site testing. It's at a different level, different depth. Current leases that we have. They came up with the proposal, which is the first page, the site permit request. Kevin and I worked with them and worked with the Secretary of State. We came up with the remaining contract, which is about 6 pages on the end, so that they have to provide details of what kind of charges they're going to use for the testing, when they're going to do it, a lot of other details. But when you combine all of it, this is what the Secretary of State has approved. Kevin and I told them that's the minimum we'll go with. So we believe we get $12,000 not to do the test. They don't have to even come test, but if they do, then they're going to pay us below $10 an acre, 1,200, 1,200 2 acres. Now, if they get anything, then they have to come back to us for a lease and we get royalty. But they're looking at a different strata than we currently have leased.
Okay, do we have a motion there? Somebody motion? I so move that we accept that.
Okay. Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
The next one is the lease for Ms. Susan Harrison. Property in Fergus. Ms. Harrison has not paid her rent or lease in quite some time. By statute, we're required to cancel these leases. So Kevin submitted that one. There's actually a structure on the property, and he believes that the property is sold, but he can't find out who she's supposedly sold it to.
You might have lived in that structure.
Nobody's living in the structure. But we'll cancel this lease, and then if we find out that someone else tries to move in, then they'll either have to get a lease with us or we'll pick them.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
There's another church that's located near the school, central office in Fergus. They have a vacant lot next to them that they've sort of been using as a parking lot sometimes. And so we thought they would need to lease that property to use it. So we had it appraised at $10,000. They would like to pay an annual lease of $500 for that vacant lot. That's the Christ Temple Church in Fergus.
Have a motion for that one?
So,
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Thank you, sir. Mr. Hammond.
All right. Well, I want to start off with superintendent's report, and I do have kind of a lengthy one, so bear with me. But I had the pleasure of spending some time with one of our students over our intersection break, and I'll talk more about our intersection fall break. Michael Sherrill told me that from Purvis High School, senior at Purvis High School, told me he watches all our school board meetings. So I wanted to say hey to Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael. And so just wanted to give out, I guess, as a kid, say a shout out to him. He is a character and I enjoyed time spending with him. And was very fortunate that we did in our intersection, in our fall break, and our intersection time, we averaged about 600 students across our district in the intersection. Some days more, some days less. And it seems like as you go through the week, it kind of drops off some. But we had a very successful intersection. I just want to thank our bus drivers, our cafeteria workers, our teachers, our site coordinators, and our administrators for all they do to make that such a success. Our site coordinators are fantastic. Can't say enough about them. They get it all together and just do a fantastic job. I'd also like to recognize this 2-week break also because we don't have intersection on each one of our campuses, and some of our parents want to know why my child usually goes to Longley, but now they're going to Grove Elementary here. Well, it gives us an opportunity to do some maintenance on some of our campuses. And so our maintenance crew was jammed up, moving just 2 weeks, and they got a lot done to get our campuses back in order after 9 weeks of school. Our mechanics on our bus shop were able to get some of our buses maintained. And you know, this is it was a really good time to use to be able to get caught up on a few things, and be able to make a push for until Christmas and Thanksgiving break. So I have up on the board, I want to talk about some of our accountability. And as you know, we had our accountability rating, and that should be 21, 22. I got to live in 2 years sometime. That is 22, 21, 22's accountability presentation, our mission statement and core values. But I want to kind of, you know, I've shown this before. We haven't had accountability for 2 years now. So the last accountability has been, rating has been in 2018-19. So I want to remind you about, you see the blue area, that is our ELA. You get 3 buckets in the ELA, which is our lowest performing students, our bottom 25 here, our growth of all students, and then our proficiency of all students. And the same thing when you have over here on the math side. We also have our EL students, our English learners, and that's not just Hispanic students. That is, we have all our students who speak, I want to say last count, can you help me with the number? I think it was like 40 something languages that we have in our district. And so those encompass all those students. And then this is science here at the bottom of there is science proficiency. For high schools in our districts, it's a 1,000-point model. And you have the ELA, lowest 25%, the growth of all students, and proficiency of ELA, that's English 2. For math, lowest 25% growth of all students, that's Algebra 1 for high schools. But we also have science, which is Biology 1, our U.S. History test, which is U.S. History junior year. This is our English learners in our high school for the district, it's 50 points. Graduation rates, 190 points. Acceleration, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. Acceleration and college and career readiness, those are those 2 buckets right there. So I have a historic, and it's hard to see now that I've got it up there, but I wanted to show you the 2-year gap. And so we look at 2018-19, and you can see there's been some changes. But for the district, we've been at A for the last 4 consecutive accountability terms, I guess you could call it that. You won't say it's not 4 years, but it is, you know, that sort of thing. So, so to kind of show you how historically we performed against, and some data I have with the state included, the data changed, the MDE changed the way they pushed out their report. We don't have state data for everything. I'm trying to get that. We didn't have accountability last year, but we did take assessments, and you can see where this is proficiency for reading language arts, for reading ELA, and that's, you know, that's ELA in the 3 through 8, and then English 2 in the high school. And you can see that from 2018-19, we're 54.1%, and this year we were 53.1. So we're right there back to where we were before pre-COVID. You can see we're much higher than we were last year during COVID. Again, we're higher than the state. This is a growth of all students, and you can see we had good growth there for this year. Didn't have the same growth. Didn't have growth. We didn't get growth for last year. We just got proficiency levels. This is the lowest 25%, and you can see, and again, we're trying to look back here to 18-19. You can see our lowest 25%, our lowest performing students were higher than 2018-19. Very proud of that. Our math, you can see that we were 59.9, we're 62.9 in 2018-19. We're making strides to get back to pre-COVID. So, but we were definitely higher than last year, and higher than the state in the proficiency level. This is the math growth of all students. We had 73.2%, and in 2018-19, we had 77.3% for math low is 25%, and you can see that we're comparable to where pre-COVID. Science proficiency, this is something that, you know, that you kind of, when we get our data back, you know, last year we thought, you know, COVID was one of those things. This year we see that we still didn't make that much gain. We did gain, but we did gain over last year. When you look at 2018-19 where we were, and so we've identified this as an area of growth, but we're still higher than the state. And you can see that the state dipped as we did, I guess you could say. Our history, fantastic history results. It's a new test, but fantastic history results. You can see look through the this history classes this year. 85.9%, you might as well say 86% of our students scored proficient in things. So acceleration, and when you're talking about acceleration, you're talking about AP classes, dual credit, dual enrollment, our CTE courses that have the national certifications involved with them. And so you can see we've really focused on, and our principals have focused on our high schools of getting those kids in those AP, dual credits, CTE classes. And so we're very proud of that. And we continue to grow in that area of acceleration. College for readiness, this is ACT. So ACT is if you score 22 or higher on the math part, then you get a half a point. If you score 18 or higher on the English part, or 22 or higher on the reading, either or on the reading and English, you get the other half a point. And so, but this year with this model, and you can see we had an uptick because they added in work keys. And work keys is a career readiness test. Typically was typically work keys was given to our CTE students, but we started giving it, and we're going to give it to every student that we can give it to this year, just to have, it's something that they can put on their resume, because if you score, it has different levels. You got a bronze, a silver, a gold, and a platinum. And if the student is silver or higher, they're considered work ready. It's something they can leave high school with, something to put on their resume as they look for start if they want to go into a career, even if they want to apply to colleges. It looks good. Our English learners, we had a dip in our English learners, and we started identifying that, it's hard to teach those students over a computer, and so when you have, and it's hard to teach younger kids how to read over a computer, so we knew that would be one of our lagging indicators, and we're working towards that now. Graduation rate, you can see in our graduation rate, and this is important to understand that graduation rate is always a year in the rears. It lags a year. And so this 89.7 is not last year's seniors, class of 2022, it was a class of 21. And so therefore, that is the years. And so we did see students who left school, we had, Berkeley was ahead of we just didn't come back. We just struggled on. But 89.7 as a district is still is not where we want it to be, but we're working towards tracking that and making sure we bring that up. Very proud of our ACT scores, the junior ACT. Every kid in the state ACT takes a junior, every junior takes ACT, and this makes sense because you can, as you see our college career readiness score go up. This shows that this follows. So our average junior ACT was 19.2, and so that's just one time that day taking it. So I'm very proud of that. Getting back to where we wanted, and I don't have the senior ACT. This is seniors. You get to count the highest in every such score that they take, and so we get that average for the senior ACT. And measure that between us and the nation and the district. The nation, and I want to point this out, because we're one of only about 4 states that pays for every student to take the ACT. So when you see the national, because typically the higher kids in some other states only take the ACT in the states. So third grade reading gate, and you can see this is 83.9 is again going back to 2018-19, and the reason it dropped in 2018-19 is because we went from a level 2 passing and all the way up to 2017-18, and in level in 2018-19 you had to have a level 3 or higher the pass on the test, they up the rigor on the test, and we did see a drop. This is the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, Teresa, this is the first time testing. That doesn't mean that we had, 16.1 percent of our kids not passing, they have, they get to take it multiple times, but this is the first time we had 83.9, and that goes back to that 2018, 19 year, where we're right on par with where we were. So, the MCAS, and that's really, I should change that to the CRAE, it's the kindergarten readiness assessment. She called it the CRAE, we call it CRAE. And so, we track that, and it's a pre-test and a post-test for our kids. And so we look at, where they come and how far they've grown to see what their kindergarten readiness is as they leave kindergarten going first. So we don't have the spring in there yet, but we were right on par last year for that. So we should have just had that. So any questions? I kind of flew to that, and I'll get you a copy of this presentation so that you can look over detail and have any questions on the slide and answer any questions for that. Very proud of how far we've come. I just am amazed at we bounced back. And I don't want to sound like I sell myself short, but I feel like our teachers and staff did such a fantastic job when we had to go hybrid and we had to be virtual. That they did such a fantastic job at minimizing some of the learning losses you hear about. And so that's evident in our data. And so just hats off. We had several faculty members here tonight, and they just worked really, really hard. It was great. So, yes.
Remind me on the end of course test. Are they being phased back in, being required for graduation?
Yes. So they are.
Like seniors for this year.
Right.
2023.
Yes. In the past 2 years, they were not, we were having exemptions for those. And so now in the course assessments are back in, you don't have an exemption for that.
So seniors of 2023 have to pass all of those.
Well, it depends on when
It's
they
when they
took
started.
it and when they took the
I got you.
test. So they might have had to pass the biology test, but they might not have to pass English too, because that was during the year.
Okay.
So they might have to pass the US history for the junior year. So, so yeah, it gets quite confusing, but.
Yeah, I mean,
we have to-
counselors have fun with that.
Yes, they do. And so they've had to make notations and when, theoretically get to where you see it here and know that was one of the things that you do. So, it gets easier the more you do with it, but it still gets confusing. So, I'd like to mention that this is a national principals month. We have fantastic leadership in our buildings. I just want to recognize that. And not only do I recognize that, but MDE recognizes that as well. There was 32 members of the Mississippi Principal Advisory Council. Out of 32, we had 3 representatives. I'd like to recognize Angela McCarty, principal of Longleaf Elementary, Matt Thomas, principal of Summerall High School, and Sarah Simons, assistant principal at Oak Grove Middle. They all want to represent the Lamar County School District on the Mississippi Principal Advisory Council. Also, speaking of that, I'd like to recognize Zach Griffin. He's he's a junior at Oak Grove High School. He will represent as a student representative on the Student Advisory Council. He was one of the finalists for the state board student representative to be on the state board. So, and I hate that Ms. Price walked out, but Oak Grove High School, this is probably more recognitions than it is in my report, but I want to hats off to them. They're one of 46 high schools recognized as 22 College Success Award by grantschools.org. And so then we also, earlier this year, and I think I've mentioned this, but I want to mention it one more time, 22-23 Mississippi Emerging Science, and we had 4 members there for the Oak Grove primary. It was 22-23 Emerging Science of Reading Schools, and Oak Grove primary was that. Last year we had Purvis Lower, so we're encouraging to get to, and that award is not one that you apply for. You had to have all your teachers, and correct me if I'm wrong, all your teachers have to go through this professional development to be able to learn the science of reading. And when your teachers meet that goal, go through that extra professional development, not required by us, but not required by state, but just recognize that once they meet that goal, they get recognized. Last thing I have, I'm sure you'll listen to that, is I had the pleasure of attending the marching band evaluations this past Saturday. We had 3 marching bands represent our school district very well. This past school state marching band evaluations, we had 2 bands rated superior and 1 band rated excellent. Purvis High School will compete in the Class 4A State Marching Championship October 29th at Pearl High School. They perform at 3 p.m. Oak Grove High School will compete in the Class 6A State Marching Championship on October the 22nd at Northwest Rankin High School. Very proud of our fine arts programs and what they're doing. And of course, we've got volleyball playoffs going on. We got football going on in many districts, and it's never a dull moment in the Lamar County School District. And you can ask Chief Bill out there that it's always something. We have a lot of fun. So a lot of things to be proud of. So thank you for allowing me to say all those things.
You did good.
Thank you.
Didn't really take any breaths.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Well, I wanted to get it in. I didn't want to.
You did a good job. Next, we have, to set our next regular meeting for November 15th, or November 14th at Summerall Elementary, beginning at 6 o'clock. And I say November 15th because I'm really hoping that y'all can do that day and not the 14th. That was a subliminal.
Oh.
Can we do the 15th, Tuesday the 15th? As opposed to Monday? Yeah, you got to look. Yeah.
I do have one request too in December, we'll be having this. I know, one thing at a time, I tried, so I didn't want to go.
Could y'all do the 15th?
Yeah.
Can somebody make a motion?
Make a motion, and we have our next regular meeting on the 15th. That's a long
So. Have a motion
one. Motion. Second.
and a second, all in favor? Aye.
That's all we got.
No, it's not that. It's work and sports conflicts. Do you want to know? You can't. All right.
Because I'm the good.
You're not on the agenda.
That's right. Consent agenda items, Ms. Pierce, do you have any questions about the consent agenda? What about Ms. Henson?
I do. I would like to pull 2 items.
It's really
Well, it's one item.
item,
I've never done this before.
2 things in one item.
Okay, so item G. I, J, and J. I, J.
Oh, section, certain sections of J. Okay. All right. I, J, and J, A. Okay, so we're just pulling that for separate consideration. Why don't we put that down there and, y'all good with that? Okay, good deal. So, got that covered. What about, Mr. Braswell? You have any questions about the consent agenda? Mr. Linville, thank you.
No.
Okay, so at this time, I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda with those changes. Not really changes, just full.
So move.
Have a motion? And a second. All in favor? Aye. That's unanimous. Moving down to other, brief on reading policy with no change. Second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so policy IJ at the very bottom states the student cannot transport equipment outside of the school. So it seems to me that that is an antiquated part of the policy that has changed now that we actually sign out equipment to students.
Chromebooks and things like that.
So I'm not sure if it's a recommendation to.
It's number 2 at the bottom of the policy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
It says students should not be allowed to transport equipment in any schools.
Yeah, we probably.
Start
That's
that.
to keep them in the plug in everything, so yeah. I think we'll just strike that part.
So, and I think it's more reference of CRTs, big television, things like that, when you used to have TV cards and things like that. We don't have these, every one of our classrooms has those before, it was like this, yeah. And so, I agree with, essentially that it's antiquated. I wouldn't have a problem with striking number 2 under technology resources.
So you, that was a motion.
Okay, I was saying, you want to do that now, or do you want to do the other one as well, or we have to break it apart? Okay. Yes, so I would make a recommendation that we just strike the entire portion about students not being able to transport,
The entire portion or just number 2?
just that. I'll say.
Okay, got a motion in a second. Everybody understand? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. What do you guys up?
All right, so then in JA, it reads, number 3 reads, to enhance the self-image of all students by helping them feel respected and worthy through a learning environment that provides positive encouragement from frequent success. It just reads very oddly, because to me that implies that they're going to feel respected and worthy because they automatically will have frequent success. So it just seems that if we remove that provides positive encouragement and frequent success, it doesn't change the actual goal itself, but it reads more of something that we can actually control. So it would read to enhance the self-image of all students by helping them feel respected and worthy through the learning environment. Maybe there's wording. That. Can I explain that one?
The learning environment or a learning environment? Just any learning environment?
Through our learning environment. Yeah, the frequency goes a lot. It can even be through a learning environment that provides positive encouragement. We can provide encouragement, we just can't guarantee we're providing frequent success. Our goal is, we cannot change.
I would be honest with you, I would agree to provide positive encouragement and like that. So,
From frequent success. That's what I'm. So I would make a motion that we remove from frequent success from number 3.
it's not, I mean, don't well.
No, that is a
Got a motion?
goal. Motion, make it go. And a second, I'll say.
You got a second? Got a motion in a second? All in favor? And that passes unanimously. Next, we have to consider executive session. We have 2 student matters, a transfer request, and a discipline hearing. Then we have a personnel matter. Got a motion?
Second.
On a second. All in favor? Aye. Any motion in your executive session?
Executive session.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in executive session.
One day I will.